Hi everyone, it's Lisa Mears. Thanks so much for joining me today. In this video, I'll be sharing with you Pink and Main's March release. They are turning 10 this month, so this month is all about birthdays. I'll be sharing with you all of the products in this release, and I'll be making a couple cards, so be sure to stick around to the very end so you can see some cards that I made with this release. So let's start out by looking at the stamp sets. This is the March mug. It's an adorable ladybug mug. There's also a smaller one there, and there are some flowers that you can put on top of the mug. And the sentiment says, "Don't bug me before coffee." This is so stinking cute. This is the incentive stamp for this month. So if you spend $50, you get the stamp set for free, and if you spend $75, you get the matching die. And here's an example of a card that I made using that stamp set. That ladybug mug is all colored up with the flowers on top. I think it turned out so cute. And if you love mug stamps, be sure to check out the January and February mug stamps that Pink and Main created. This next stamp set is the Cherry Cupcake. It's a pretty large cupcake with some cherries and flowers on top. There's also the Berry Cupcake. This one has some berries there, and then there's also a bow around the base of the cupcake. So pretty. The next stamp set is the Mice Birthday stamp set. Now this stamp set is actually from the Stamp Club of the month, and now everybody can purchase it. So if you are not in the Stamp Club, you now have the opportunity to purchase this set. And if you are interested in joining the Stamp Club, I will have a link down in the description box below. But there are some really cute mice on here, all celebrating a birthday with presents, balloons, and a birthday cake. Next up is the stamp set called A Gift for You. So you have these adorable little critters. One is holding a present. We have one with flowers. There's some sentiments on here that say, "I made this for you. I hope this makes you smile. Happy birthday, a gift for you, happy everything, and happy anniversary." And all of these stamps do have matching dies available. The next stamp set is a 6x6 sentiment stamp set. This is called Let's Celebrate. Lots of script fonts here with sentiments that say, "Let's celebrate, happy birthday to you, hooray, party, birthday wishes, wish big, oh happy day, make a wish, and yay for cake." And there are dies to cut these sentiments out. Here's another 6x6 stamp set. This is the Sakura Blooms. So you can see all those cherry blossoms on there. So pretty. There's also these little, what look like bears, holding some cherry blossoms and some sentiments like, "Hello, sweet friend, missing you so dearly. You are loved, thinking of you." Such a cute stamp set. Okay, you guys, these next products are probably my favorite in the release because you all know how I love to make shaker cards, and these shaker pockets make it so easy to make shaker cards. And there's 4 different sizes that Pink and Main has come up with, and each pack has 10 of these shaker pockets. So they're different sizes, and you can see that they all have score lines. You just fold here at the score lines, you pull the adhesive off, stick it to your cardstock, and it just is so easy. I'm going to show you how to use this at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. And I also have another video coming up here on my YouTube channel where I'm going to make a few more using these shaker panels. So here's the mini slimline shaker cover. We have an A2 size shaker cover, and we also have a slimline shaker cover, and then the first one was a small A2 size shaker cover. So there are 4 different sizes that you can choose from. Next we have some foilable panels. This one is the tall cake, and these are perfect because you just have to add foil to them and you can stick them right on the front of an A2 size card base. I love that cake. It's so fun. So that's one pack, and I believe there's 8 sheets that come in a pack. There's also the animal balloon foilables, And these are all the same, but I'm just taking it out here to show you what this looks like. So you can add foil to that sheet. Anywhere you see the black, that's where the foil is going to appear. The next pack of foilables is called a Spotlight, and this reminds me of a sunburst pattern. But you can see there are a couple different designs in here. You have one with more lines and then one with lines that are more spread out. So that's super fun when you want to emphasize something in the middle of that circle, or if you even just wanted to use it as like a sun ray, that would be really pretty too. Next is the Color Spotlight foilable panels, and these are solid toner sheets and they have different colors on them. You use these with your negative foils. You can see that there are 4 different color patterns in this pack. Now, if you're a member of the Pink and Main Foil Subscription Club, this is included in the foil subscription, but now it's available for everyone to purchase. Next is the Birthday Sentiments Foilables Cut-Ups, and this is a very large pack. I'm not sure how many are in here, but there's a lot in here of different sentiments that you can foil. So all you would have to do is add some foil to the top and run it through your Minc machine, and you can have a beautiful foiled sentiment, but they're all pertaining to birthdays. So there's so many in here. You can see there's candles, here's a balloon, and lots of different birthday sentiments. This is such a great pack. You don't have to worry about stamping, just add foil and you're done. So the foilable toner sheets that I previously showed you are all for A2 size cards, which measure 4 by 5 1/4, but these foilable toner sheets are much larger. You can actually use these for slimline cards, or you can cut them down for A2 size cards, because these measure 5.5 by 8.5 inches. So lots of fun designs on here. You're just going to add some foil to the top and run it through your Minc machine. And these birthday backgrounds are also part of Pink and Main's foil subscription for the month of March, but now they're available for everyone to purchase. The next product I want to share with you are the adhesive transfer stickies, and there's 2 different kinds of these. This one is the birthday sentiments. I'll go ahead and pull these out. You get 3 sheets. They all have birthday sentiments on them, and there's some cupcakes on them. Let me just hold them up to a piece of white cardstock so you can see these a little bit better. So you have Make a Wish, Happy Birthday, Let's Party, Celebrate, Congrats, Hooray, and Just for You. So with these sentiments, all you have to do is cut out the image that you want to use, and you can peel back the acetate sheet and press it onto your surface. You can add glitter, flock, embossing powder. You can even add foil to these. And I have a video coming up showing how to use these, so be sure to stay tuned for that. It does give you instructions on the back as well. And then the pack on the left is the Build a Cake adhesive transfer stickies, and those work the same way. Here's an example of a card that I made using the birthday cake, and I added some glitter to all of the parts of the cake. So you can see here that all of these pieces were separate pieces, and I just transferred them to the cardstock and added glitter. And then I used these foil sentiments for my hooray. Next we have the foil for this month, and the gold foil is the Sparkle Gold Cheer Foil. This is part of the foil subscription of the month, but now it's available to everyone. The next cheer foil for this month is called Caribbean. It's a really beautiful green. This one is not part of the foil subscription, but it can be purchased individually. Next we have a cut and emboss folder, all relating to birthday themes. We have some balloons, banner, candle, cupcake, and a party hat. To use this, you just run it through your die cutting machine to emboss and cut those images out. Here are 2 cards I made with that cut and emboss folder. You can see the balloons. I did do some ink blending. So I just cut these out of white cardstock, added some inks there, and I have a video tutorial coming up showing how I made these shaker cards, and I did use those shaker panels on these cards. Next are the stitched rectangle frame dies. These dies are a set of rectangle frames, so they cut the center out, so you can use these with shaker cards or if you just want to frame an image. And what I love about these dies is that this die set is all one piece. They're not individual frames. So they're not separate dies for each one. Look at that. I love that, how they did that all together in one piece. So I went ahead and die cut just so that you can see what this looks like. You can see all of the frames that you get in various sizes. So just by running this through your die cutting machine one time, it cuts out 7 rectangle frames, and they all have stitching on that, which is an added plus. You also get, in addition to these 7 frames, you're also going to get the inside piece for that small rectangle. So if you wanted to use that for a sentiment, you can. In addition to these rectangle frame dies, there is a set of stitched circle frame dies. And with the stitched circle frame dies, you get 8 different framed circles. And then this is the Birthday Sentiments die set, and this die set has various birthday sentiments on it. I'm going to flip this over so you can see what they look like. And if you recall, these are identical to those Birthday Sentiment adhesive transfer stickies, and they actually will cut those sticky transfers out as well. Let's take a look at some of the new crafty tools. This is a set of 3 fine tip bottles. They have colors on the top, so if you needed to color code anything that you put in here, but you can use these for your liquid glues. They do have a very thin nozzle on the top, so you just screw it on and you can see that very thin tip, and then they have a closure as well. So this comes in 3 different colors. You have a green one, a orange one, as well as a cream colored one, and they come in a pack of 3. The next tool is the Pick Up and Place tool. This tool is a rose gold color. It is so pretty. I'm going to hold this up close so you can see. It has these little crystals in the center, and then it opens on each side. One side is a wax tip for picking up your embellishments and adding them to your cards, and the other one is a poker tool. So that's handy if you want to get some cardstock out of your dies after you've die cut them. And this tool comes with 2 extra wax tips. You can see there in the packaging. There's also the sticky gems. You can see it's a beautiful rainbow color of sticky gems. And then the paper pad for this month is called Colorful Ink Spots. And as I flip through here, you can see all of the beautiful designs. This resembles alcohol ink splattered onto the cardstock. It's so pretty, and you can see all of the beautiful rainbow colors that are included in each design. And this month, Pink and Main has also released a whole bunch of confetti mixes. I mean, look at all of these. There are so many. I went ahead and put them in this organizer just so that I can easily go through these with you. I'm going to go through these a little bit fast just because there's so many of them, and I will have links to everything down in the description box, all of the products that you see here today. So if you want to find out more about anything you see here, check those links below, and I always appreciate when you click on my links to make a purchase because it does help support me. But basically, these confetti mixes come in so many different colors, from white to black to yellow. There's some cream, there are some orange, and I've kind of organized them here according to color, as you can see as I go through here. But basically, they're just flat, small flat little discs that you can use on your shaker cards. So if you recall at the beginning of this video, Pink and Main has released some shaker panels, and these are perfect for adding to those shaker panels. So here's some teals, we have some blues, and there's several different colors of the blues and the teals and the pinks. And then here's some purples. These are so pretty. When I saw these, my jaw just dropped because you guys know how I love to make shaker cards, and these just made me so happy. And if you're not one for making shaker cards, you can always use these as embellishments on your cards. So I'm going to go ahead and open one of these up and just put them here on this stack and sort tray. So I want to show you a little bit here how to use this pick up and place tool. So you can see with the wax end, you just press it onto one of these pieces of confetti and it will grab it, and then you can just add some glue to your cardstock and then add the confetti directly down to your card. This will also work with very small little die cut pieces. This wax tip will also pick up the small die cut pieces as well. So today I want to show you how I made these two cards using the Spotlight Foilable panel. I'm also going to be bringing in the Animal Balloon Foilable panel and the Sparkle Gold Cheerfoil. So I'm going to go ahead and cut down my Cheerfoil to size. I want it to extend just slightly beyond the foilable panel on the edges, so I do want it to go over those edges. I don't want it to be right up against those edges because I want to have a little bit of wiggle room here. I do have my Minc machine there on my desk, and I do have the heat setting to 4. I'm going to rub an anti-static cloth over top of my foilable sheet as well as on the foil, just to make sure any dust particles are removed from the foil and the toner sheet as well as the inside of the carrier sheet, because I don't want those to interfere with any of the foiling that I'm doing. So I placed my toner sheet face side up and I put the foil right on top with the shiny side up, and I'm just running that through my Minc machine. And in the meantime, I'm going to take out another piece of foil and cut it down to size, and that's going to be for the balloon animal. The foil that I'm using for the balloon animal is the Ombre Pastel foil, and it's a multicolored foil. So the first toner sheet with the gold on top, that already came out of the Minc machine, but I am running it through one more time. I always like to put the foiling through the Minc machine 2 times just to make sure that it gets a really good impression. So here I'm just getting my animal balloon all set up. I already ran my anti-static cloth over that, so that's all ready to go. And now I'm going to pop that right back in my carrier sheet, and I'll put that in my Minc machine. So now let's go ahead and reveal this spotlight, and look how pretty that is with all that gold on there. Now you can use this negative on a solid colored toner sheet if you wanted to, but I'm not going to do that today. You can just take this negative piece, pop it on top of there, and run that through your Minc machine to put all of the negative foiling on top of the toner sheet. So the animal balloon is ready. I'll go ahead and remove that from the carrier sheet, and let's go ahead and peel this back. Look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, I love the ombre of colors on there. So pretty. I am going to be using that negative piece, and I'll be bringing in one of the rainbow toner sheets. There's different colors in here. I'm going to bring in the yellow color. You can see when you place the negative piece of foil over top what it would look like with each one of these colors, and I'm choosing yellow because I think that's the brightest out of all of these colors. So these toner sheets are much longer than the other ones. I'm just going to cut this in half to get 2 sheets, and I'm only going to use one. I'll save the other one for another project. So I ended up cutting this down to 5.5 inches by 4.25 inches. I'm just going to use my anti-static cloth and put it over the toner sheet. Do the same thing with the foil. I'm going to pop the foil on top of the yellow toner sheet so that the foil side is face up, and then I'm going to place that in my carrier sheet and run that through my Minc machine. So remember that entire yellow sheet is toner, so that entire piece of foil will transfer onto it because it is toner. So you can see what that looks like, and if you wanted to use that as a card front you can, but instead I'm going to cut this out, and I'm going to leave a little bit of edge so you can see some of the foil along the edge, but you can also see the foil on the lines inside of the animal balloon. Now the pieces of foil that I'm cutting away from the animal balloon, I'm going to save those because I can use those for die cutting. and I'm actually going to use that to die cut a sentiment out of for one of my cards. So here's what that looks like once it's fussy cut out. And I'm also going to take the very first balloon animal that I foiled, and I'm going to fussy cut that one as well. Now if you wanted to, you can just add this entire panel onto an A2 size card, but we're cutting this little guy out. And while I have my Minc machine out, I'm going to go ahead and foil up a sentiment. I'm actually going to use the sentiment Celebrate along with the Sparkle Gold Cheer Foil. So this is the one I'm going to use. I'm going to go ahead and pop it in my carrier sheet. And I'm going to put one of these scraps of the gold cheer foil right over top of that. And it's just the right size, so I'm just going to pop that in here, and I'll go ahead and put that through my Minc machine. And then when that comes out of the Minc machine, let's go ahead and pull this foil back, and look how easy that was to add foil to that sentiment. Now a quick and easy card would be to take this balloon animal and put it right in the center of this spotlight panel, add a sentiment, and stick it on a card base. But I'm going to go a little bit further, and I am going to use a piece of paper from this paper pad. I'm trying to find one that I would like against this color in the balloon animal. And I decided to go with this first sheet because I like the colors, how they're not as bold, they're a little bit lighter, and the colors match perfectly with that balloon animal. I'm going to take a zigzag rectangle die. I'm going to die cut the spotlight foiled panel, just making sure that that rectangle die is in the center. And I have these two pieces, and I'm going to use both pieces. So one of the inside piece I'll use on one card, and then the frame I'll use on my second card. Alright, so the piece of pattern paper I cut to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and I'm adding the foilable panel, that's the spotlight, right on top. I'm going to go ahead and add my animal balloon right to the center of that zigzag rectangle die cut with the spotlight pattern on it. I added some foam to the back of the sentiment just so it's popped up on top of the card, and I was thinking of either putting it overlapping the legs of the animal balloon or putting it right below it, and I ended up deciding to put it down below underneath the legs. I'm going to go ahead and add this to an A2 size card base, and I'm going to use the confetti mixes as some embellishments on my card. I'm going to use the purple orchid, the glass slipper, and the flamingo, and I'm just going to place them here on the card with the pick up and place tool, and then I will use my glue and adhere them down once I have them all in place. You can see here that I'm just using the wax tip of the pick up and place tool just to lift up the confetti, put a little dot of glue on the cardstock, and then place the confetti back down with the pick up and place tool. So this card is now complete, but I want to go ahead and make a second card using the negative pieces from the foil panel as well as from that zigzag rectangle that I had previously die cut. I want to start out by working on my sentiment, so I'm going to use the birthday sentiment dies and die cut the word hooray from this ombre foiled panel. And remember that this piece is from when I used the negative piece to foil that animal balloon, and I said to save that leftover piece. Well, that's where this is coming from. So here's where I'm going to use the pick up and place tool, which is the pokey side, and just get that H out of the die. So there is my word hooray. It's nice and foiled in that ombre pattern. Now I'm going to glue this down to the shadow layer that I die cut with a piece of vellum. And then I'll go ahead and set that sentiment aside. And I'm going to make this one a shaker card using the A2 size small shaker cover. And on the front of this package, it tells you exactly what you need to cut your cardstock to. So to use this shaker cover, it says cut it to 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. And that's what I cut my pattern paper to measure. So with this shaker cover, I'm just going to fold at the score lines on all 4 sides, and then I'm going to peel back the protective cover. You can see once you peel that back, the acetate on the front is nice and clear and shiny. I'm going to flip this face down and place my pattern paper face down inside of the window. I'm going to peel back on each one of the 3 sides the protective covering, and I'm going to fold them in to cover the cardstock. But I'm going to leave the top open because that creates a pocket where I can now add my shaker pieces inside. So just fill up this pocket with the different confetti mixes that you want to include. I'm using the same ones as I used on the previous card, but I'm also going to be adding the aquamarine as well. Once you have all of the shaker pieces in there, they are piled up at the bottom. I'm just going to kind of shake this so that they spread out just a little bit, and then I am going to flip this over and peel back the adhesive backing on the top flap, and I'll seal this up. And look how easy that was to make a shaker out of those shaker cover sheets. And now we need to add this to a card, so I'm going to have this face down on my table as I put some double-sided adhesive tape along the edges. Once I've covered all of the edges, I'll peel back the adhesive backing on all 4 pieces, and then I'm going to use my glue, and I'm still going to put some glue in the middle to adhere this down to my card. So this is just going to go on the front of an A2 size card base. And as I place this on the A2 size card base, I want you to notice that this small shaker cover does not fit the entire size of an A2 size card base. If you wanted it to fit the entire panel, you would have to get the A2 shaker covers, so the next size up. So I am going to be putting this negative piece from that Spotlight foilable panel on top of here. You can see that when I add the shaker cover to the card base, it does have a little bit of height there. So what I'm going to do so that my foilable panel that I cut with that zigzag die so that it lays flat on the card base, I'm going to just add a piece of thin foam strips along the edges of the entire shaker cover. That way when I add the frame to this card, part of it's going to be laying on the shaker cover and part of it will be laying off of the shaker cover, and I want to make sure that it lays flat, and adding this foam here will just give it a little bit of more dimension on the outside of the shaker cover, and it will help it to lay flat on my card. I peeled back the backing of the foam strips, and now I'm just going to add glue behind this frame, and I'm going to add it to my card front. I'll add the balloon animal to the center of that card, and I'll add the sentiment underneath. When I add the sentiment, I'm just putting glue on the back where the word hooray is, making sure I don't get that glue outside of the word hooray because I don't want it to show through the vellum. And now that card is complete. Okay, you guys, so I would love to hear if you had a favorite product in this release. Leave me a comment down below and let me know. If you're interested in any of the products you saw today, please check the description box of this YouTube video for product links. And if you like this video, please give it a like. And if you like videos like this and you want to see more, make sure you click that subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Have a great day. Bye-bye.